Give me paw.
Good boy. You're so smart.
Do other paw. Other paw.
Other paw. No,
Other
this
one.
one. Other
Other
paw.
one.
Good
Yeah.
boy.
You're a
Very
smart dog. Yeah, he is. All right, everybody. Welcome to 50th Percentile. I'm your host, Josh Moore, and this is the #1 SAT podcast in the world. We're here with my guest today, Mr. Richard Francis Williams. Do we want to do middle names?
It's fine, yeah.
Yeah.
The only reason why I go by my full name is there's a black comic that goes by Rich Williams.
Yeah.
And people were getting us confused, but I want to.
And he's funnier than you? Or?
He's hilarious, and I can't top that. So people get they're uncertain. Is this you on YouTube? No, I'm white.
I actually have a similar situation. I'm in a bit of a pickle myself. When you Google Josh Moore, there's like a college football player who's like this 6'4" black guy.
Yeah.
And there's also a gay porn star.
Whoa.
And I wish I was that interesting, but I'm just a comic, so.
Yeah, well,
too bad.
Something to shoot for.
Yeah, I can never live up to that. But
is that an improv shirt you have on?
Oh yeah.
That was my home club when I lived in Los Angeles.
L.A. Improv?
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to work at Levity Live in
really?
West Nyack. Yeah,
oh
for
my
2
God.
years. I was the. It's like being an altar boy of stand-up. It's like working as a server in a comedy club. But man, the funniest thing was like my managers. Ironically, I'm sure you've hung out with like some of the people in the L.A. Improv, right?
Oh yeah.
Like I feel like people that work at comedy clubs sometimes have that better, funnier brain on their shoulders than a comic who's like nervous and thinking about it all the time. I don't know.
Yeah, it's because they're in that mix and they usually have a very dark sense of humor because they see all the nonsense that goes on. There was this one guy at the Hollywood Improv on Melrose Improv, they also call it, Antonio. He was a Mexican-American. I think he still works there. He was like a server. And he was always so upbeat, real older guy.
Yeah.
And I said, if I ever made it, I'm buying you whatever car you want. Okay, thank you. And I never made it enough to buy him a car. So I barely made enough to make me a car or buy me a car.
There you go. Maybe you could give him a ride or something.
Yeah,
if the situation ever comes up.
If I ever get back out to Los Angeles.
Shout out Antonia. Well, you said you were in Los Angeles from 99 to 2012.
Yes.
I was going to ask you a little bit backwards, and I'm not going to get too into your comedy journey because people could find that probably other places. But what was the key thing that made you want to leave or had to leave?
Well, I got this rare balance disorder where I saw 30 doctors to try to diagnose what was going on. I was having... So it was two problems. I had sleep apnea, but it's not the regular sleep apnea. I have something called central sleep apnea, where my brain stops sending signals to my lungs to breathe.
Jeez.
Yeah, it terrified me. And so while I was dealing with that, I stopped taking my Zoloft, just cold turkey. And I didn't realize you're not supposed to do that.
Probably not.
Yeah. And so I didn't realize it till many years later. That's probably what caused this. I was having electrical currents, it felt like, go through my brain.
Oh, yeah.
My arms and legs would kick out when I was falling asleep. And the condition I have is called disembarkment syndrome. It's very much like when people go on a cruise ship, they get off, they feel like they're still on the ocean forever.
Yeah.
So I was dizzy all the time. I still am. And when I was writing for TV shows like Sports Soup, it was a spinoff of Talk Soup.
Yeah.
And the only thing that seemed to help me was to take a short nap. So I would sleep underneath my cubicle in the writer's room. You can only do that for so long before it's like, I mean, they understood it's a comedy writing job, so nobody gives a shit.
You could just hang out.
Yeah. But, long term, it wasn't great. So I decided to move back to my hometown of Schenectady.
Nice. Shout out Schenectady. But I can't lie, man. I've always wanted to live in LA. I've always, what's the word? Idolized? Fantasized?
Yeah.
Fantasized about that. Nowadays, I'm just not sure. Is it just all like Facebook guys out there and like big tech people?
It's so weird. The last few years I was living there. All right, so when I moved to LA, I didn't know a single person except for one comic, and he and I weren't close or anything like that. So I moved in with a comic as a roommate. I found through like this user group. This is before the internet was as big as it is now. It was 99.
Right.
But I remember as I was driving into Los Angeles, I stopped at a store and bought one of the those locks for your car jack or whatever. I forget what it was called, low jack, to put on your steering wheel because I thought it was so dangerous. I didn't experience anything really that bad for most of the time. Then in the last few years, these guys, a gang, I guess, broke into the apartment that was being redone in the lot next to mine. I went out there because I heard this massive crash. I lived right on the Sunset Strip across from the Whiskey A Go-Go. And they were in there just partying. They smashed through the metal gate.
And then they went into party?
Yeah, they were just drinking. It was like a Wednesday night. It was raining out. And then they started chasing me around.
They started chasing you around?
Yeah.
Did they see you?
Yeah, because I went over. I'm like, is everybody all right? And then I see all these gangbangers. I'm like, oh, man. And then they knew where I lived. So I got behind my gate, and they were threatening me. And then it kind of dispersed. About 20 minutes later, I went to the convenience store, the gas station that was right next to my apartment, and I see the car, and I had called the sheriff. I see the vehicle, and the sheriff's like, get the license plate. And so as I'm trying to get the license plate, they see me, and one of them chased me in the convenience store part, and he pulled out a knife, and he was hammered. There were these big screens, these televisions or monitors, and I'm like, you're on the monitor right now. You need to get out of here. He was so drunk, all he did was lift his T-shirt over his nose to cover his face. I'm like, that's not going to do anything.
You're already here.
Yeah, and he starts chasing me around with the knife inside this little convenience store.
That is such a crazy percentage of your brain to use. You're like, I'm going into the store. I'm going to chase this guy, potentially stab him. You say to him, they could see you on the cameras. And he's like, all right, hold on. Let me rethink my decisions real quick. Puts his shirt up over his nose and then continues to try and potentially stab you.
Yeah. I'm on the phone with the sheriffs, and finally he leaves. I run back to my place. The guy that worked at the convenience store, he's trying to get me to go in the back room with him in the beginning. I'm like, I'm not getting stuck somewhere.
Yeah.
The sheriffs come. They almost shot him because he wouldn't drop the knife.
Well, yeah.
And so the problem was not just that happening. I followed up with the sheriff's department and got a victim's advocate or whatever, another sheriff, and she's like, why did you follow him? Why did you do this? I'm like, what are you talking about?
Didn't the sheriff tell you to potentially get his information?
Yes.
So the only reason you were in that situation in the first place was because...
Right.
Yeah.
And I called again because I saw he got arrested for drinking and driving. And I'm like, why is he not in jail?
Well, that's the worst thing you could do.
Right. But she was like reprimanding me. She's like, why are you keeping up to date on this guy? I said, he's in a gang. He threatened that his gang was going to kill me. And I said, did you even pull the footage from the convenience store? She's like, I didn't know there was any. I said, did you know that the cops, your other sheriffs, were going to shoot him because he didn't drop the knife? No, I didn't know that. And I just hung up, and I talked to another sheriff. Their advice was buy a shotgun. So it got
that's crazy.
Too crazy there. And now, from what I hear, the homeless situation is really dangerous. And it seems like they don't care about the residents.
Yeah, I mean, you have such high taxes. You would think it would be... You would think they would have something to show for it, but you walk down certain streets. Horrible.
Oh,
it's horrible.
Yeah, and to allow people to
America
slowly
does
kill
feel like a
themselves.
third world country, depending on where you go.
Absolutely.
I think, a lot of people look up to us, but once you live here, and I'm not going to shit on America, I'm over that, but it's really bad
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I mean, after that, I guess, happily ever after, everything
Yeah.
was fine.
Yeah, no, I had my, I lived in Beverly Hills kind of early on. I had my vehicle ransacked a couple times.
Damn.
And so in these two nice areas, like the Sunset Strip is a little sketchy, but
Yeah.
it's one of the biggest tourist attractions.
Yes.
A gangbanger's trying to kill me. I live in Beverly Hills. They're breaking into my vehicle, and they also stole 3 of the tires off my neighbor's BMW and the rims. They couldn't get the 4th one off, and it was parked next to poles. It was really hard to pull off, but they did it. And those
That's
things just
crazy.
Yeah, I had my credit card number stolen. I traced
Yeah.
it to someplace in Compton, and the police just said, "Yeah, we have bigger things to worry about." So it's
They always have bigger things to worry about.
yeah.
That's insane. There's so much crime that, like, major crime is, like, not always major enough.
One of the cooks that
They're
worked,
like, well, did you get stabbed?
yeah,
That's why you crying about it.
yeah. It's like we have to wait till you're dead.
I can't believe that dispatcher talked to you like that, even though a deputy had already told you to. But
She was a deputy.
we can move
She
on.
wasn't even a dispatcher. She was a law enforcement officer.
yeah,
But this cook
Christ.
at the Improv, he went to this bar that I used to go to quite a bit, Barney's Beanery. He got in an argument with these 2 guys. They stabbed him to death outside of the bar. It's just, it's pretty crazy there.
yeah.
I
That's
can't imagine
crazy,
what
yeah.
it's like now.
There's, like, the thing with New York City and LA is I think it's only enjoyable to live there if you have a lot of money. 'Cause
Yeah.
then you could just be gated in some way and not really have to deal with that, or you have some sort of security,
Yeah.
things like that. But trying to, like, quote unquote make it or whatever must be some type of hell. Like, I have friends and they're not even that funny living in New York City to try to make it in stand-up, and I'm like, that can't be worth it,
It's great when you're young because
Yeah.
you don't care as much about certain things and you have plenty of time.
Yeah.
I went out to LA when I thought that I was ready. I had an act. I had been doing the road for about 2 years, 2.5 years, full time. So when I went out there, I was able to get some momentum going for myself.
Yeah. Who'd you initially start opening for?
I didn't have a situation where I opened for anybody specifically. I looked a lot like Bill Clinton, and it was 96
Now
when
that
it
you
happened.
say it,
yeah,
yeah.
I'll show you a picture later. I took a picture at the local mall at Crossgates. They had like a glamour shots, and there was no Photoshop or anything. I just put some dark stuff
Yeah.
under my eyes and grayed my hair.
I see it.
And I got so much work because of that.
I thought you were gonna say pussy.
No. Well, I did get some of that.
Yeah.
I remember I used to drink a lot back in the day on the road. And I remember one girl saying, stay dressed up like that. And then we're having sex. I'm dressed like Bill Clinton. But
you didn't have sexual relations with that woman.
I did not have. But yeah, so I didn't
Sorry.
open for anybody. I did the porno awards.
Really?
As Bill Clinton. I did a 10-minute set, and I was just emceeing here at the local club, but I killed so hard that the owner of Hilarities in Cleveland saw me, called his booker, and said, "You got to get this guy in the headline." And
Yeah.
so I get this random call from a guy in Missouri, Freddie DeMarco, rest in peace. He's a great, great guy. He gave me so many opportunities. He booked me all these places. He's like, well, I want you to headline. I'm like, I'm barely an MC. I'll come in and feature, but so I just toured with whoever. I was always
just on the road.
Yeah, I was just in clubs. And when I had nights off, back then most clubs would be booked Tuesday through Sunday night. So it was a full week of work.
Yeah.
The nights I had off where I was driving from Des Moines, Iowa to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, I would hit clubs and try to do a guest set to audition for them, and I got some work that way.
Nice. Nice. Yeah. So it's like just like keep moving.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's I don't know. You think I'm ready?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, ready for what? Like, what are you?
Hitting the road.
The road isn't the road anymore.
Or that's what they say. Yeah. So it's like it's different now. The road. It doesn't even matter. It's like the road is Instagram now.
Yes.
So it's just a whole different era.
Well, it's good and it's bad. The bad part is it's not. The money was horrible back then too. It'd be like the top I made for a full week was $600 as a feature. I started co-headlining at the end, but the nights you have off in between gigs, you have to put yourself up at a hotel.
Right.
And
gas.
Clubs use local features mostly now, unless the headliner is getting paid a lot of money. They bring in their own opening act, so it's hard to go on the road. It's impossible as an MC, but even to feature, it's not set up the same. The great thing is you can create your own audience who will come out to see you. That's what's important to these clubs. If you're able to sell out the Funny Bone, you can get booked at every Funny Bone.
Yeah, I've seen this at Levity Live exactly. You know, there's certain types of comics. They're like, we're on a sitcom in the 90s, and every year you just see like they might sell 90 tickets, then the next year it's 80, then the next year it's 77. It's like, you know, it's dwindling. You see some guy like with a popular podcast, it'll sell out in a day.
Yeah.
Like the whole 350 tickets just sold out instantly, and it's like no one's ever heard of them.
Right.
Because they're just like famous on the internet.
And sometimes they do it too early where they don't have an act and they suck.
Yep.
So they'll have those shows and they'll be popular for that night, but the people seeing it are like, all right, I'm not going to go back and see this.
Right.
So they burn the bridges at all these clubs because they're not funny enough yet.
We fucked up. We were supposed to have Andrew Schultz at Levity, and our AC wasn't working. And he came to our club the first night and complained about it. The manager was like, no, it's okay. He had like 8 standing ACs around the room. And this is a venue. This isn't like, this is like you might as well throw ice cubes on the floor. Like, this is doing nothing.
Yeah.
And he kind of just like, was like, no, it's okay. And then the next day, he posts a video on his Instagram. And he's like, I tried to talk to the club. This is not fair to me. It's not fair to my fans to be sitting there sweating and dying. The management said something, but he did like an impression of my manager.
Really?
And I saw him. I walk in. I see John. I don't know if shout out John. I feel bad now because he doesn't work there anymore, but he probably wants to forget about this. Head in his hands, like, I'd never seen someone so defeated. I was like, hey, did you see these? I saw it the minute it came out.
Yeah. It's tough.
It was so bad. That was supposed to be like our humble little club. Get a guy from Netflix. We fucked it up.
Yeah, and back in the day, comics had no recourse. Like
that was it.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
so
you have
he
to
has
do the show.
He has his podcast.
Right.
He's got his following. He could go anywhere. You know. Nowadays, back then, you had to perform.
Yeah.
Blood, sweat, and tears.
Who are you going to complain to?
Oh, nobody, right?
Yeah, nobody would know that this happened.
You don't have some gay little blog. You could just go on the internet and, complain. I'm going to hit you with some SAT questions.
I love this idea. Before you do, how did you come up with this idea for a podcast?
Thank you for asking. Nobody's ever asked.
Really?
No. Well, not on air.
Yeah.
When I was in high school, I took the SATs, and I got into the 50th percentile, which means if you're smarter than me, if you got a higher score than me, it means you're probably smart. If you got lower than me, it means you're probably dumb. So nice. I thought, why not put other people in the hot seat, give them 5 questions, no chance to get my score. If you get 3 out of 5 right, you're over the 50th percentile. And I'll treat you like the genius you are. Maybe try to learn something from you. If you get lower than it, well,
I'm getting kicked out?
You're not getting kicked out, but I will.
Haze me?
I'm just gonna, hi, I'm just gonna treat you like you're slow.
Well, my backstory with the SAT, I took it in 1989. I was hungover. I didn't take it seriously, although I did some of the pre-tests, the practice tests. And so I agreed to do this not only because I like you and I think you're funny, but I want to beat my cousin Kelly's score.
And how'd she do?
She did really well. So
shit.
Yeah, the pressure's on in more ways than one for me today.
Yeah, well, I'm going to hit you with some questions.
Okay, but none of them are math, right? You can't pull a math question out.
They are, but I don't think...
I'm better with the verbal, but all right.
Most of them are verbal.
Okay.
All right, so question 1 is vocabulary. If something is described as meticulous, what does that mean? A, careless. B, very detailed and careful. C, loud and energetic. Or D, unpredictable.
Because I've been a professional writer for most of my life, adult life, and a comic, words are super important to me. I am meticulous with my writing, so it's B.
You got it right.
I'm one step closer to not being treated like an imbecile.
Yes, it's true. Question 2 is math.
Okay.
A store is having a sale where all items are 25% off. If a jacket originally cost $80, how much does it cost after the discount? A, $55. B, $60. C, $65. Or D, $70.
Okay, now let me see again. Say it's 25% off. Jacket's $80.
Jacket's $80.
What are the answers again? It's $60.
B, $60. You are correct.
Wow. I could have gone to Harvard if I had the brain then that I do now, because that seems easy to me.
I mean, maybe you're just different. Maybe you changed.
Yeah.
You went on that hero's journey.
Yeah.
Or what the word meticulous means.
I'm not hungover anymore, so.
Well, to be fair, I am, so.
Well.
But you're doing great. You're crushing these. Seamus said the same thing. You know Seamus?
Yeah.
Mike's. He was like, we lost it, but it was such a good bit. He was like, I'm going to send this to Harvard. He's like, you think I could send this to Harvard? I was like, you could send anything to Harvard. You could jizz in an envelope and send it to Harvard if you wanted to.
You might get the FBI, though. They might think it's anthrax.
Why?
Oh, wait, it's just jizz.
Oh, man. That would be a funny thing to do, though. Just bring a bag of sperm to the FBI and be like, I need you to figure out what this is right now. And they're like...
Yeah, I don't know it would go well, but...
Wait a second, this is jizz. All right, 3 is reading comprehension.
Perfect.
If an author presents both sides of an argument without showing a preference, the author's tone is best described as A, sarcastic, B, enthusiastic, C, neutral, or D, critical.
Neutral. C.
That is correct.
Is it possible for me to get some kind of scholarship based on today's?
I can give you an Uncrustable if you want.
This is the sad part of my life. I'm 55 now. I quit drinking 12 years ago.
Nice.
Because I think I'm allergic to alcohol. And plus I would start doing other stuff.
Yeah.
So I switched to non-alcoholic beer, and people are always like, why would you drink that? Because I like the taste. It's why vegans eat tofu that tastes like chicken or
meat product. Yeah.
I have to now quit the non-alcoholic beer because I'm gaining too much weight. I'm cutting my carbs to do the Atkins diet, which is now the keto diet. So I'll pass on the Uncrustables. But
wasn't the Atkins diet? Wasn't that like something years ago? It was like a big thing. It
was huge, and then they now it's called keto, and I don't think there's any real difference.
What is it? Like, I don't know what it is, but
your body, I always feel like you have to do these weird disclaimers. I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a doctor, but from what I understand is you cut your carbohydrates to like 30 or something a day.
So,
and when you eat fat and protein.
Okay.
And when you do that, your body starts burning fat instead of burning off carbs or whatever. It doesn't, whatever you're feeding your system, it doesn't get translated into sugar and empty calories and all that.
Yeah.
It works. That's all I know.
Yeah. I've been thinking about that. You don't realize how much sugar makes you just crash out. Something you don't realize when you're like a kid, I guess.
Yeah.
But now I work these night shifts, and it's like what you do to your body will affect how your night will go. And it's already bad enough to work 12 hours through the night. So it's like, eat a steak. Don't just rely on the vending machine.
Yeah.
That's what I did when I started, and it's so bad.
That's what it was like on the road.
Right. You go to a gas station.
Fast food all the time, vending machines.
It makes you feel like shit. Your body really is a temple in a way, I guess.
Yeah.
But I'm not a doctor, so.
There you go. By the way, I already have 3 right, so I've won.
You have technically won. You are over the 50th percentile. I am not going to treat you like a retard today.
Good.
Yeah.
Has anybody else gotten all of them correct?
Seamus did the first time. But like I said, it was in the park, and it was my first time fucking with this, and I lost all the audio.
Good. Because now I have a new goal.
Get them all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It's good to keep pushing, right?
Yeah.
But this is algebra.
Oh, fuck.
Let's see how you do here. You were scared about the math, but let's see how you do here. What is the value of x in this equation? And the equation is 2x plus 7 equals 19. So choices are A, 5, B, 6, C, 7, or D, 12.
Okay, so 2x plus 7 equals 19.
Yep.
Okay. Say the answers again.
A, 5, B, 6.
It's B.
Final answer?
Final answer.
That is correct.
They've all been B's so far. I love it.
I don't know. I'll have to get back with my my people at the SATs on this. This is the #1 SAT podcast in the world, so don't take it lightly. Take it in stride.
I'm sweating, and you have the AC on, so
it's a scorcher out there.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right, let's just because I have way more like actual questions. So I have let me just run through this. Statistics. Question. The numbers 3, 5, 5, 8, and 9 are listed. What is the median? A, 5, B, 6, C, 8, and D, 30. I'll read the numbers one more time. The numbers 3, 5, 5, 8, and 9 are listed. What is the median?
All right. Say the answers again.
A, 5, B, 6, C, 8, and D, 30.
I'm going to go with B6.
Is it because the rest of them were B?
No. Because here's what I did in my mind.
Yeah.
3 is the lowest, 9 is the highest, and what's the middle between them? It would be 6.
Unfortunately, that is incorrect.
It's 5,
4 to
isn't
5.
it?
It is 5. I think medians work a little bit different. I think you were going for
Middle.
like middle or average. How that would work out. There was like a mean, a middle, and this is all fucking bullshit anyways, man.
Yeah,
I hate this concept.
I spoke at my college graduation but didn't graduate, so that's what's important to me.
Did you really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I found out that because I stayed for the graduation my junior year, because my buddy Jack was graduating, and I saw the speaker who was a student, and I said to my buddy, hey, how do you get to be the speaker? They said, well, the student government president becomes speaker for the graduation because they can't figure out who's the valedictorian by that time. So I'm like, I'm going to become student government president. I did. There were 2 runoffs. At the third and final vote, I won. And the biggest thing I did was, it was at SUNY Potsdam up near Canada. I started a late night, what we called a drunk bus.
Ooh.
For 25 cents, it'll bring you from Potsdam College or Clarkson University to the bars and then back home.
Wow. That will get you votes.
Yes, and I actually did it.
For no more than a quarter, too.
Yeah.
How'd you get a bus?
Well, we had a budget because of student fees.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So
we had some somewhere.
Yeah. And my whole platform was, why let the nerds be in charge of this budget?
Yeah.
Let a frat boy do it.
Yeah.
And it worked out. This way, the young co-eds wouldn't have to walk home alone. Also, people wouldn't have to walk home in freezing weather. There was a river right there. People would fall into the river drunk. And it ran for 10 years after I left.
People don't... Sometimes you need a frat boy a little bit to think of things for the common man. Not everybody is going to be studying SAT questions all the time and starting a podcast about it, you know? So, nice. Good on you for thinking like that. And you said you didn't even graduate.
No, I was a semester short.
Oh, man.
But I got a job based on my speech.
Yeah?
Because one of my...
wow, so that all worked out.
Yeah, one of my classmates, her mother was in the audience, and she owned a computer consulting company in Latham.
Wow.
And she was so moved by the speech, I got hired to be a headhunter for that company.
Wow.
So I took it.
It's just one thing after another with you, man.
Yeah. The luck of the Welsh.
Yeah, so you're Welsh.
Welsh and Irish. I didn't know I was half Irish until I was maybe 21, 22. My dad left before I was born.
Yeah.
I called, and he died when I was in high school.
Yeah.
I called his brother, and I was trying to get information. And finally, the last question was, hey, what ethnicity are you guys? He goes, we're Irish.
We're white.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh, I was hoping Ugandan or something. But
no. Uganda? You gonna sell these computers for me? Or?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I wrote this down, so I have to say it. So the other day, Duncan was telling me you really liked one of my jokes. And he said, because it came from a real Hollywood writer, that means I must be doing something good. So my question to you is, how come everybody in this town is so gay and retarded? And how did you...
Fluoride in the water. No, go ahead.
How'd you make it out of here? I guess we already kind of covered that a little bit. You don't have to go back.
Well, when I started, there were no open mics for comedy. I started actually in '93. There were none in this area.
Right.
So I used to go to Syracuse every Sunday night and bomb for 5 minutes.
Nice.
And then I would quit for 6 months, 9 months at a time. Then I got serious about it with Tom Nickey, who owned the Comedy Works in just outside of Albany at the time.
Oh, yeah.
His son runs it now in Saratoga.
Yeah.
And I asked for a guest set. He's like, yeah, you can do 20 minutes. I was like, what? So I had the place sold out with all my friends, coworkers, family. And I did really well because it was a friendly crowd. So he gave me all the stage time. But back then there wasn't... Political correctness was a term that was kind of coined in the early 90s.
Right.
And that push was making its way through, like what the social justice warriors and wokeness became later.
Right.
But people weren't policing language at comedy clubs.
So did you started out dirty?
I've always been, yeah.
Always been?
Yeah, I
And
try
I
to
wanted to
write
ask,
clean jokes.
Do you ever have a joke that's like so dirty you're just like, oof?
Oh, I have tons of them.
Hit me.
I
don't know.
At this point,
you're funny. Tell me a joke.
Yeah. No, it's not because of that. It's some of the jokes I would write, I look like a standard white boy.
Yeah.
And so some of the jokes I would think of, I knew were hilarious, but I couldn't do it. So I would either give them to a black comic or a Latino comic, or sell it to a comic who could get away with it.
Oh,
but So when I first moved to LA, I did this open mic. This is before I even moved. I went there for 5 days. I went to an open mic, and there was this heavy-set Latino kid that was up before me, and he was making fun of the host in the venue.
Oh, yeah.
And the MC comes up on stage, the guy running it. He grabs the mic. He goes, "You're banned from this place. You can't do this." Oh, yeah.
That'll happen.
Yeah. I go up next, and I don't know anybody. I certainly didn't know the comic who just got banned. And I said, "Look, I'm not going to do my set because I don't think this is okay. He's a comic. You should be able to make fun of whatever. You should thicken your skin." He goes, "You're banned too."
No way.
Yeah. Immediately after I said that.
Right before social media.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of times you get like the internet to kind of vindicate you or not.
Right. So that comic who got banned, he and his buddy said, "Hey, man, that was cool that you did that.
Yeah.
Let's go to this place called Pink's. It's a hot dog stand in LA and hang out." I'm like, "Awesome." And the comic that got banned was Gabriel Iglesias.
Are you serious?
And his best friend at the time, Felipe Esparza.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And they weren't famous or anything. This was in 99.
Gabriel
Iglesias. So we started hanging out. And then when I moved there, they would book me for the Latino shows. So I would be the only white guy.
Oh.
And their other buddy started booking me for the all-black show at the Hollywood Park Casino, I think it was. All black. I was the only white guy. That was...
all white at the black show.
Yeah. His name at the time was Cat in the Hat because he would wear a Dr. Seuss hat. It was Cat Williams.
You fucking serious, man?
Yeah. Sorry. They liked me because I'm a white boy who would make fun of whoever was in the crowd.
Yeah.
So I did jokes about Latinos. I did jokes about black people because I grew up like in the hood, basically, in Schenectady. And I was taught that busting balls, it's like being on a construction site.
Yeah.
You bust everybody's balls. That's a sign of friendship and bonding.
Yeah.
And so that's how I got a lot of paid work when I was in LA.
Isn't it like weirder when people are like oddly protective around like certain groups, that like when they're like, "I'll make fun of a white guy," but then it's like black guy comes around, it's like, "Oh, no." I don't know how to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You kind of tense up a little bit, like, "Oh, I'm not going to go. I would never. I'm not racist."
It's way like, worse now. It's generally what I find is it's white people that are treating minorities as if they're special needs kids and they have to protect them.
Yeah,
And I would like just say the word black and everybody would tense up. And I'd start laughing. I go, if I was a black comic saying white people couldn't dance, everybody would laugh their asses off right now. And you'd be like, "Hey, don't forget we have little dicks too."
Yeah.
And then I go in and I'm like, this is a standard thing now. I didn't invent it, but I'd say, "Oh, you're all looking at the black people to see if they're laughing." And when I was on Comedy Central's Premium Blend, I would say, I love black people. I wish I was black. That way I could start dating you white bitches again. Comedy Central was notorious for cutting to black people in the audience, showing them laughing to tell the viewers at home, it's okay to laugh at this.
Yeah.
And I always say, like, I don't always say, but when I do that type of material, I say, "Listen, white people, black people overcame slavery, Jim Crow. You think one of my fucking jokes is going to take them out?"
Yeah, I know.
It's a joke.
It's like you don't give them the benefit of the doubt.
Right.
And that's disrespectful in its own way. This overly sort of protective thing. And I've been in certain open mic scenes where they're trying to make it a safe space.
From words.
And it's like, but why are you doing this?
Right.
This is supposed to be biting.
Yeah.
This isn't supposed to be safe. No one wants to... Yeah, wow. I think you know where I'm going. No one wants to hear, like, you just talk and play it safe the whole time. Oh, and I have to ask, can you get me a job in Hollywood, please? Please? Can you make me famous, please?
There's no jobs in Hollywood anymore. That's why comics are staying in their hometowns. So because of social media, like, what are the last 5 sitcoms that have come out? Abbott Elementary.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The one medical spoof that's like The Office. Other than those two, I don't know any other ones in the last 5 years. They don't make sitcoms anymore.
No, yeah.
So comics used to flock to LA for pilot season to try to get in a sitcom. That's basically gone away.
Yeah.
The movies are all they even hire actors and actresses based on their Instagram followers. So even the movies are based on that now.
Right.
You can create whatever you want right here in the living room with a couple nice mics and whatever kind of phone that is.
Oh, good for me.
Yeah.
Good for me. I guess and I get to judge people and see if they're smart too.
Right.
Yeah. You ever do 2 chicks at the same time?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was one of the benefits of doing the road, because women obviously like sex just as much as men, but they don't
So
want
I've heard.
Yeah, the way I do it, they don't want to be labeled as a whore.
No.
And so when you're the comic coming in for the week in a small town or even a big town, they can use that excuse. Oh, we're with the comedian. It's crazy.
New guy in town.
Yeah. And they know I'm leaving, so it's not going to spread in their circle.
Yeah. Nowadays, I don't know. I'm not going to make my own excuses of why I haven't had a threesome yet. I'm just going to work harder, I think.
Here's the raining on that parade. I've had a lot of crazy sexual exploits.
Oh, yeah.
I wish I didn't now. I wish I just married my college sweetheart or something equivalent to that.
Yeah.
It just never happened for me.
Yeah. I'm in this stage of my life where I fucked that up. I had that special person. I thought it was going somewhere.
Yeah.
It didn't. So now I'm like, fuck it. Now what's stopping me from doing whatever?
Well, the thing, I always, not always, but I oftentimes would do things just for the story to tell my buddies, like, hey, this was a crazy night and all this stuff. But
as a comic too, right?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't do them on stage as much, but just sitting around shooting the shit. But looking back, none of the sex was like that great. It felt way better when I loved the woman.
Yes.
And I know that's not cool or whatever, but man, I'd rather have that now.
I think it's the pheromones. I think it's like the pheromones. If you hook up with one person a bunch, and people say, oh, it gets boring. Every married person wants to cheat. But at the same time, it's both. I was just talking about this to a friend. It's like cheating sex feels way better than regular sex. But at the same time, the making up after a big argument with your long-term partner, that sex is the best.
Yeah.
Because you're coming back to something familiar even though you questioned it and you weren't even sure if you really liked the person. You're like, maybe you're not the person for me. But after that makeup sex, I guess they call it, right? Is I think that's probably the bee's knees. Well, it is. I've had it. It's good.
Yeah.
And it's like I wish things were better, but they're not.
Well, I think based on that, the key for you is to get into a long-term loving relationship and cause constant drama so you can have makeup sex.
That's what I tried to do, but it just ended.
They eventually get tired of it, yeah.
Turns out that's can only go so far with that. Do you miss being in a writer's room?
Yes.
I was watching clips of Date Your Mom yesterday, and I was dying at some of the stuff, and I'd point at the TV. I'd be, I bet Richard wrote that one.
Yeah. So I worked on Date My Mom and Next and another show called Exposed that's not as well known, all for MTV.
I can only imagine you guys just like dying.
Well,
writing some of this shit
that
down.
wasn't a writer's room situation. I would actually go on the dates with them, and I would. So on Date My Mom, we had,
because it's reality TV.
Yeah, but so it was real, but when they would do so we called the guy the picker because he's picking who he's going to go on a date with at the end.
Yeah.
I would listen into their conversation, him and the mom that he was on a date with, write notes and write jokes based on the situation. And then when he did the straight to camera reactions or funny things that he would say, that's the stuff I would write.
Yeah.
But I didn't impact his decision or anything like that. Next was more fun for me because every time someone got nexted, I'd write 5 jokes on the spot for the picker, who could be a boy or a girl, and for the person who just got nexted, got rejected. And sometimes, so it'd be like 20-year-olds that are super attractive.
Yeah.
They would want to say their own lines. And I'm like, listen, you just got embarrassed because you got rejected. You're 20. I do this professionally. I want to make you look good.
Yeah.
You can try. So that sometimes they would try to say their own shit.
I totally get that.
And I'm like, all right, try these. And then they would go, okay, yeah. This sounds better.
Yeah. Because it's exactly like you're trying to help them out. You know? Because they probably want to get on TV and be like, they want to vindicate themselves. Right. You know? But that's not the way to do it.
Best way to do it is with humor.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I don't know, because it's reality TV. Was it always gay and lesbian couples?
I think Next was the first show to have a gay or lesbian couple on it. The show, our executive producer, Calissa Miller, she or the show won an award, like a GLAAD award or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was the first time. I remember there was a gay picker on Next. So there were 5 different guys for him to go on a date with. And at the final one, you could choose to go on a second date with a person, or you keep the money as the picker. And the person on the date gets the same choice. And they were both real femme.
Yeah.
So they were playing cards for some reason. So the joke I gave him to say when he was nexting the guy is, hey, a pair of queens, great in poker, not in a relationship. Next. So yeah, that's the other thing, like with the wokeness and white guys straight white males being the biggest evil in our society for some reason. I would write for all these different voices. It didn't matter if it was a black contestant, lesbian contestant, white guy, white girl, Asian. I was able to write that way because I'm funny and I have empathy. I'm able to put myself in their shoes and you know.
Right. And like I'm watching the show and I'm like, if you didn't have a hand in it, and reality TV could be kind of vicious sometimes and make people look horrible.
Yeah.
I was having a lot of fun watching this, knowing just like, this is for fun.
Right.
You know, I'm not watching this to see some TV is like to just tear somebody down. Like Dr. Phil or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, look at this nut job, you know?
Yeah, I never worked on those types of shows.
Yeah.
I actually, this is an interesting story. At the Melrose, the Hollywood Improv, there was a reality show that was being taped. I think it was a pilot. And the comic, I was super drunk that night. The comic brought up a young couple, and on the stage, and the guy was going to propose, and the girl was going to say no, and the guy didn't know it, but the producers and the comic knew it.
Oh man!
And when I found out, I was so pissed off at that I went in and I started yelling at the comic. I broke so many rules at the Improv. I got banned for a night.
Oh yeah.
But I pulled the kid aside, the guy, and I'm like, you don't have to do this, man. You're being set up here. And I almost got into a fist fight with the comic. I don't remember who it was. Yeah. And I was out of line. I shouldn't have gotten involved. But I said to him, this is not what fucking comedy's about. They were going to
destroy that guy.
Yeah, you're going to embarrass this guy with something that's should be so sacred. For what? So you can get scale from AFTRA? It's not fucking worth it. You want to be known as that guy? And then he took offense. And I understand, again, I shouldn't have gotten involved, but
nah, but
I was pissed off.
Your heart was in the right place. You did do the right thing, I would say.
Thanks.
It's fucked up. I have a media studies degree. I took a whole class on reality television and how it gets manufactured how it's reality, but like it's producers having a hand in that sort of thing. And so that would like be my fucking homework in college.
Really?
You have to be like watch Jersey Shore or watch. There's this reality show called like Gigolos. It was about
I think I saw it on Showtime.
The male escorts.
Yeah.
And that was pretty entertaining, honestly. And that wasn't like that bad. It was like the realities of living as a male escort. It's a weird thing to be like objectified as a guy, and like, you know, you're hooking up with these mostly older, wealthier women, you know, that want to be with like a younger, hot guy. And
yeah, I don't think that happens in nature too often. I think it's more
it's
older gay men with younger gay or maybe bi or straight guys.
Yeah.
But we try to make this like, I don't know that there's a bunch of older women hiring people for sex. They can have sex regardless.
You ever see that movie, The Graduate?
Yes. I saw parts of it.
Well, yeah, it's like the first MILF porn.
Yeah.
You know? I had no idea people were thinking like that back in 1960, 70. The only reason I looked it up was because of the Simon and Garfunkel song. That's where the "Here's to You, Mrs. Robinson" comes from, that movie. So I was like, let's see what this is about.
The actress was only a few years older than Dustin Hoffman in real life. Anne Bancroft, I think it was. I don't remember.
Oh, yeah.
She wasn't that much older, but that's how Hollywood did it.
Yeah. Back then, I mean, who knows, man? Let's see. Plug your YouTube channel real quick. Secrets of Stand-Up Comedy, or anything. Plug anything. Plug your butthole if you want to.
Yeah, out of desperation to have something to do with my day, I created a YouTube channel, Secrets of Stand-Up Comedy. So many comics helped me throughout the years, starting with Bill Burr. He gave me great advice.
You know fucking everybody, dude. You've crossed paths.
Here's the thing, though.
It's small world, and
comedy is a very small world, and when you're in LA, like if you go to the Improv, the Comedy Works, I mean the Comedy Store, the Laugh Factory doesn't really kind of encourage comics hanging out there. They're kind of on the outside.
Yeah.
But you run into all these people. Like there's a lot of my friends that became famous, and so to me, it's not a big deal.
Right. And I said I wasn't going to do that on the podcast today. I'm like, he's a writer. He's probably crossed paths. He's going to name drop some people, and we're going to be cool about it. And every single name you've mentioned, I've been like, holy shit.
Yeah. See, to me, it's
Cat Williams.
To me, it's like you and I are doing this podcast, but in 3 years, you could be the biggest comic in the world. I'm going to still see you as the guy who got 50%, the 50 percentile. So I'm not name dropping to be like, oh, I've worked with this. Because if I wanted to do that, I wrote for Charlton Heston. I wrote for Shaq. I wrote for John Travolta, The Rock. I've written for a ton of people.
Yeah.
And but I was never like big into celebrity. It didn't.
Yeah.
Because I realized they're just other people who really were either talented and they wanted something so much that they worked their asses off for it, or they were related to somebody that got them into business.
Yeah. Fame is a weird thing, and I know, like, do I know any? Yeah, I know some famous people, and they are just people. Like, when you know them, you know, you see them, and it's just a guy at the end of the day. It's maybe a little bit tired and just like, you know.
And in their minds, they're not famous enough.
Oh, yeah.
So they keep wanting more and more. It's human nature. I remember I was writing on shows and I took it for granted. So my first TV job was writing for the Best Damn Sports Show, period. Mm-hmm. I was on the show probably 80 times, and I just thought it was always going to be like that.
Like you were just going to be a writer? Or how do you...
That I was always going to be on TV, that I was always going to be writing for shows, and I probably could have done that for a long time, but then the balance thing happened. It was great, but it's not as great as you build it up to be before you get it.
I don't. Yeah, no, because I don't think there's such a thing as a perfect life, and I think about this frequently about like how awesome would it be to be in like say Joe Rogan's shoes. I could wake up, talk to anybody I fucking want, like the snap of my fingers, but then you just have to wear a headset and talk for 3 hours like every single day, and if you're not like that good at it, like I'm not even that good at this. Like, I'm just shooting the shit, and but Joe Rogan, hate him or love him, he wakes up and he does that shit every day.
Yeah.
Finds someone to talk to and just does it.
Well, what's great about those podcasters, like a Joe Rogan or Tom Segura and Christina Pezitsky and some of the other ones whose names I don't...
Theo Von.
Yeah.
That's one of mine. Yeah.
They started out doing it just because they wanted to do it. There was no money involved back then.
Right.
Mark Maron's another one.
Right.
And they stuck with it long enough because they loved it. So
exactly. And I think that's the whole reason I'm doing this, just to build a community. And couldn't just say, like, have a conversation with me. It'd just be gay, you know? You can't just sit there. You can't just hang out anymore, you know what I mean? Be like, oh, let's grab a cup of coffee. There has to be a reason, you know? You have to turn everything into content.
For men, especially when you get older, I used to do a joke about how women can make friends immediately. They'll be in line at Starbucks and say, oh, I like your shoes. Where'd you get them? Next thing you know, they're on a girls' trip to Vegas. But if I'm standing in line behind a guy and I'm like, hey, I really like your leather jacket. You want to catch a movie sometime? To him, it sounds like, come to my house for a tickle fight.
Tickle fight sounds fun. I mean, but still the craziest story I think you told me is that you becoming friends with Gabriel Iglesias. You have to get kicked out of the improv together for two guys to become friends.
Well, it was this barbecue joint. No, it was the improv wouldn't put up with those shenanigans. They would allow people to make fun of the place.
Yeah.
It was just it was called Smokin' Johnny's in the San Fernando Valley. But that's the great thing about comedy. You can go anywhere in the country and go to an open mic and make friends. Yeah. With other comics.
It's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. Like, the community I've built here, pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, the other day, I told some jokes, like, literally this week, you were there, and I was, like, so pale in the face because I was like, I brought up some shit I probably shouldn't have got up. Duncan goes up right after me, and he's like, crazy character, Josh Moore, and he kind of let the audience know in a way, like, yeah, he's just a crazy guy, like, but it wasn't weird after that. Like, I didn't feel like, because I tell these edgy jokes, I go out there, and it's as weird, I don't know if it's, like, shame or like this thing where I have to say the worst shit I could possibly think of on stage.
Yeah.
It's like a sick addiction, you know? And then you do it, but then there's that, you have fun in your head all day being like, I'm going to say this shit. Yeah. It's going to go awesome. You get there, and you're about to go up, and you're like, oh, I have to say all this stupid shit that I wrote down in front of all these people. And you do it, and it's like, it's amazing. It's a surreal, comedy is a surreal experience. And friends will tell me that don't do stand-up, hey, do you think this is funny? I thought of this. I'm like, dude, just go up and, like, do it. Like, it is, like, I could sit here, talk to you about surfing for an hour and how it feels, but, like, you have to get in the water. Like,
now, I've noticed you say shocking things on stage that I personally find funny because that's my sense of humor.
Yeah.
And you talking about the anticipation of it.
Yeah.
When you realize you have to get on stage, is that part of the reason why you wear sunglasses? So it almost shields you a little bit?
Those actually are meta glasses. They can record.
Yeah. But they don't look like they're ever recording.
Sometimes I'm like, fuck it. I don't want to remember this.
Right.
Just want to get drunk and forget about it. But it does shield me, and I think there's also like this core of what's that guy, like this Dice Clay aspect to it, where you put on the sunglasses. It makes it easier to say shitty things.
Yeah.
You know? And I think what I want it to do ultimately is play into this effect of like a character in a way, which is like, it's not me. Like I did a show at this bakery. One of the first things I was like, hey, we're all out here supporting a small business. Get a big woo from the crowd. I'm like, yeah, fuck small businesses. If I want baked goods, I can just go to Walmart and they're probably better.
I'm doing that show this Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the guy comes up to me afterwards, the owner, and he's like, hey, fuck small businesses. And I was like, no. That was up there. This is an honor.
Yeah.
Like, that's not me.
Right.
You know? But that's how I do it. Like, I want them to think, like, because if you think it's all sincere, like, you're just going to think I'm an insane person.
Right.
You know? So there has to be a level of, like, this guy is not real. You know? And it's not supposed to be. I know some comics, they take it in a more serious direction, or what they say is to be, but I'm not. That's not me.
Yeah.
I do it to destroy the ego or whatever. It also inflate the ego, but like if you get laughs. But
Well, it's funny. The reason why I noticed that with the sunglasses is because I don't like looking into the audience's eyes. It's not because I'm afraid of them, but some of the stuff that I say is shocking, and people could be offended by it, even though none of it's malicious. But it is shocking to hear. But that's the point of the joke. It's to release that tension.
Yes.
I don't like to, and I talk about this sometimes on stage. I go, I'm codependent. I'm going to say some things that may be divisive or whatever you have an issue with. I don't want to look you in the eye, because then it puts pressure on you to laugh. And if you laugh, you may worry that people think you're a bad person. I go into this whole spiel where I start spiraling out. I did a show one time for the Schenectady Police Department, their benevolent society. And I did it a few times. I remember one year I played, because I got certified as a hypnotherapist. I sold a movie to Disney with Tim Allen. They never made it, but I took a year off and went to college for it. And so I did my whole set, and it's like 45 minutes, with my eyes closed, playing relaxing massage music. And it was one of the best sets I ever had, because I was able to focus on everything in my mind, and it created this kind of mood in there.
Like live up there? Had music on and eyes closed?
Yeah.
Wow.
And later I tried to do something like similar. I would make a joke. I go, I'm going to do something that you've never seen a stand-up comic do before. I'm going to break some kind of Guinness World Record. Mm-hmm. I'm going to attempt to do my entire set blindfolded. And I don't think the audience got that. Like, that's not difficult, because I'm just talking and they're listening.
Right.
But I would make it. I also had this thing that I would do when I started. I had some props. You know Bert and Ernie? Yeah. So I had this plush Ernie doll, like a zip and button doll for kids. I cut his head off, and I put a cassette recorder in there with googly eyes on it, and I would say, I'm the world's best ventriloquist. I'd like you to meet Little Tex. And I'd bring him out, and I'd just press play for his parts, and it was my voice sped up, so it sounded like a different person. Yeah. And I say, I am now going to attempt to drink a beer while he sings a song. And I would start drinking, and then just press play, and he'd go, I'm Little Tex, and I like to sing, yippee-dip, skippy-dip, dippity. Oh, man, you couldn't even write some lyrics for this fucking song? How fucking lazy are you? Why don't you tell him what you do to me in the hotel room after we're finished? And I would slap him off the stage up against the wall, and it would break the tape recorder. I'd have to buy new ones all the time. Wow. I go, don't listen to him, this fucking guy. He's not. It was like this whole thing. And so, yeah, I've gotten away from that, but sometimes the audience doesn't get it.
I'm definitely in a gimmick. I love to do a gimmick, like on stage. You know what killed one time? This was at Orc Tavern. Everybody was going up, and no one was really killing that night, because everybody was just talking fast. They're like, all right, so I've been doing this recently. I've been doing that. Been getting into cardio. Just talk. I get up there I'm like, all right, I'm going to walk up like extremely slow. I hold the microphone, and I don't speak into it for a good minute and a half. And I got more laughs in that silent minute than like the last 5 comics trying material, you know, and I broke the I was like, I'm gonna break the silence with the stupidest thing, and I was like, a minute and a half of silence, and I'm like, you guys ever go to the store and you're with your friend and he's like, should I get this beer or the other beer? It's like, well, you know what this beer tastes like and you see how much it costs. You know what the other beer tastes like and you see how much it costs. What the fuck are we doing here? You know, this whole story is just like going nowhere, and it killed, you know. And then people were like, that was really good. I'm like, but it's not like the ability to read the room. I think it's like 70, I don't know, something % of the battle, half the battle, something like that.
Well, it's funny you say that because that's like another dimension of comedy, knowing the...
And that's like open mic. Like, you couldn't headline, and maybe you could.
Well, so maybe 14, 15 years ago, I was running a show with my buddy Sam Brown in Los Angeles, and there were probably 30 people there, so it was packed for this small room.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And I had just done this like self-improvement seminar called Landmark Education, the Forum. It was amazing. It was mind-blowing. It changed my life. So I went up and I said, every comic has tried to get you to laugh.
Check this camera real quick.
Yes.
You never know what I'll do.
I said, every comic has been up here desperate to get you to laugh.
Yeah.
What I want to do is just experience us alone in this room.
Yeah. And you're saying
quiet, quiet for 1 minute. I'm going to time it. And if anybody makes a sound, I'm resetting the clock, and we're going to sit here until we can do it. Just being present in the moment. So I started it. 5 seconds in, somebody dropped the beer bottle by accident. I said, that's not an accident. That's everybody being uncomfortable, just being with each other. Let's start it again. Do it. Somebody starts laughing. I go, okay, we got to do it. The pressure and tension built up so much that this one guy and his two or three friends stands up and says, I will not be a part of this. And I'm like, oh, okay, what? And everybody else is trying to be quiet for the minute. He says, I came here to see material. And then he starts walking out. I go, it's okay. You're fine. You can leave if you want. He starts leaving, and he yells, I'm going to go on your website and give you a negative review and write a bunch of comments. As soon as they got downstairs, I go, all right, the experiment's off. Everybody erupted into laughter. And I said, that's how mad he got at this little experiment. I don't even have a website. He's going nowhere with this. And I took the bus that night because I was on this kick of I want to just be with people. And I saw him, oddly enough, at Pink's. I was walking by that same hot dog stand that I went to all those years before with Gabe and Felipe. And he said, hey, man, I just want to tell you, I'm so sorry. I go, it's fine. It worked out beautifully.
Yeah.
I didn't think you were upset with me. It's totally fine.
Exactly.
I was on such a high.
You want to give it another shot?
Yeah.
Start now.
But I was on such a high because I kind of broke through a former fear that I had, which was I got to fill up all the time. They have to be laughing the whole time.
Yeah.
The opposite is true. If you build enough tension, the laughter is the release.
Yes.
And so sometimes that quiet part works to your benefit.
Less is more.
Yes.
Like, it's about being tight sometimes. That's why I think Anthony Jeselnik, he's one of my favorites, you know? But he has no problem starting a joke being like, my friend sends me pictures of her baby. And the audience is already feeling, because they know he's a dark guy.
Right.
What horrible direction this is going to go in. They think of every which way. And you said you wanted to molest it or so. You said something horrible. And then he takes it somewhere else, like, entirely.
That they're not able to guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's that's the essence of comedy. You're there for the surprise of it all.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you've been doing this so long, you hear jokes, and you know how they're going to end like halfway through them. And it's just not as fun, you know?
Yeah.
And it's weird.
That's why I liked your one joke so much, and I don't want to do it because I don't remember.
Which one? No, tell me. I love it.
Earlier today, so this is going to be my version of trying to remember it. Earlier today, I was watching child pornography get taken out of my neighbor's apartment. That is so funny because what it does, in my mind, the way I analyze it, is when the audience hears that you've been watching child pornography, it's immediate disgust.
Yes.
And how is he even bringing this up? And then when you switch it to being taken out of my neighbor's apartment by the police, or however the joke goes.
Yes.
You have other parts of that joke that continue with the same kind of idea.
Yeah.
You can't top that first part.
That's so true. It tapers off after that.
If I were you, and I don't want to give unsolicited advice.
No, please.
Start with the other lesser extreme examples, or just cut it off at that one. Because it's so funny.
Right.
Because it totally tricks the audience.
It's the ultimate taboo, too.
Yeah. How many people... Because I personally don't make fun of that type of stuff on stage.
Yeah.
But I understand how it can be made fun of, and you're proof of that.
Yeah, I think I'm always just looking for an alley into something bad, like a bad topic. Because people say you can't joke about some things, but I don't even want to disagree with them necessarily, because everything affects everybody differently. I try to be a little bit sensitive about that.
Well, that's the thing, though.
But not on stage.
Yeah, I get pissed off at the audience when comics were getting canceled for things they said on stage. I would go on stage, and I'd say, "Listen, if any of you get offended tonight," I would start the show with this. If any of you get offended by something I say tonight, that doesn't mean I'm offensive. All it means is you got offended.
Yeah.
So tonight we're all going to agree to take personal responsibility for our own fucking feelings.
Yeah.
If I happen to touch on a subject where I'm talking about my parents dying and your fucking sister died, there was no survey before you came in here where I have all this information about your personal life.
Louis C.K. has my favorite version of this sort of thing where he's like, so here's what I want you to do if something I says offends you tonight. What I want you to do is write it down after the show, go home, and kill yourself. Because this isn't about you.
Right. But people started getting so entitled that they thought, well, I'm personally offended by this joke, therefore he or she is not allowed to say it. It's like, I don't know you. I don't know who's coming to the show. I write this stuff in a coffee shop or at home or thinking about it on the drive here.
And all it takes is like one heckler. And if you can navigate it, you can make them the crazy person.
Right.
But I've seen it completely derail like people's sets. And I'll tell you this quick story. The only time I ever got offended by a comedian, it was because he dropped an N-bomb at Work Tavern. And he was going on this whole tangent about like, maybe because I'm this, or maybe because I'm not this, something black enough. And it was like, what? And he was just like mumbling through it. And I'm like, he's like, or maybe it's because I don't say the N-word enough.
Yeah.
And the whole room was just shocked. And most of the people left. Immediately after him was a guy, it was his first time trying stand-up comedy. And I was just it pissed me off because now this guy has less than half the audience from before. Right. Nobody's comfortable, and he's this white guy, but he's not going to do the same thing that guy's going to do.
Right.
But it's already been soured. And then I went up after him. I fucking bombed. They were like, if another white person gets up there at this point, like they just did not want to fucking hear it. You know what I mean? He like killed the vibe. Not just for himself, because you could say anything. It's just your own repercussions, you know? but it had this offshoot effect, and I just felt for the guy. It was like, imagine it's your first time going out. Comic before you drops like a N-word, everybody gets pissed off, and then you got to go up there and try like dirty material.
Yeah.
Everybody's already like, you know, I don't know. That for me was my only
nearly impossible situation for that guy doing it the first time. I did the HBO Aspen Comedy Festival in 2005, 2005. Mm-hmm. And Paul Provenza, a well-known, long-standing comic, he had just released a movie he made called The Aristocrats. It's about that infamous dirty joke, and all different comics doing their version of it.
Yeah.
So this is one of my big opportunities. I'm in the New Faces group. I didn't have an agent or manager. I just got there because somebody saw me and they're like, yeah, you could do it. So that was very tough to do.
Yeah. I'm
going up first. Paul Provenza, it's like daylight out, and it's all these wealthy people from Aspen.
Oh, that sucks.
There. Yeah. The show was at like 6:30 or something. He called somebody in the audience a cunt right before I went on.
Nice.
And it totally
Classy.
Freaked the room out. And I went up and I bombed.
Yeah.
Like, I did okay, but it's just something you have to deal with. So it sucks. And
yeah.
I always tell comics, when you're starting out, try to write standard material if you can, and stay away from things that are going to be super controversial.
Yep.
Generally speaking, because you don't have the experience yet to get yourself out of those situations.
Yeah, like when I talk about like fucking a watermelon, like and I already talked about how it goes into like the character of it all. I think some people are like, I'm going to talk about how kinky I am on stage. Like, it really doesn't work because it's like, it's just you. Like, you're like, I like to have sex with food from the grocery store, which is funny.
Yeah.
But there has to be like somewhere you go, and I think like sometimes people just start stand up to like sort of just tell their story and sort of justify their own existence in front of a microphone, and I hate that. I do. I just don't like it. I don't like when a comic is just like I think to want to be liked, and it's not to say you can't be a likable, family-friendly comic, or however you want to do it, but something's missing. So it's a missing part of yourself. Audience, they don't realize it, but the audience is going to see that. Like, if I go up there and I'm like, you know, I get laid and I fuck chicks and I'm a cool guy. Like, everyone's going to see, like, immediately what this guy's problem is.
Right, and also
they're going to be looking at their friend like, look at this jerk off, you know?
Yeah, and also, like, what's funny about that? You know, if you talk about that and come off like that, you need to find what's funny about it. So, my dear friend, unfortunately, he passed away, Brody Stevens. One of the things I loved about him, he would go up and kind of be in an argument with the audience, and they didn't know it.
Yeah.
And he would start challenging them. And he would brag about things that you shouldn't be proud of. So that's what was funny to me. Yeah. He goes, I get chicks.
Yeah.
How dare you? This is one of my favorite jokes he'd say. He goes, how dare you say I don't get money? I make money. You know how nice it is to take my mom out for lunch and pay half? Like, so that was what was funny.
He knew what he was doing, though, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He would say, I have a 2002 Toyota Corolla leather exterior. Like, first of all, leather exterior is just funny and ridiculous. But who would brag about that?
So, that's awesome.
Yeah. So that was a twist on kind of what you're saying.
I was listening to you on a podcast. You said you got into stand up for attention. And, I think I feel a little bit similarly. I was 16 when I started. It was at an open mic, like music, poetry. And I used to write like funny poems is what I would do. And I look back now and I cringe at it. And I'm like, this was stupid. But then again, I cringe at whatever I said like last week. So It's like a constant loop. How to what was? Do you remember the first time you got on stage? And is this a stupid question?
No,
Have
it's
you
not a
talked
stupid
about
question
this?
at all. I was always the funny guy because when I grew up in the it was apartment complexes, so it was like the projects Schenectady version, but it was kind of nicer. It was like single moms and older people. I lived with my grandfather, and
Yeah.
all my black friends, they would make fun of everybody.
Oh yeah.
And so I had to learn, okay, I need to be able to make fun back, otherwise I'm going to be, ostracized or I can't deal with it. So
Yeah.
from that point on, I always wanted to do something funny, and I was the host of the college's fraternities and sororities had like this ice carnival competition. We did sketches, so I hosted it. I was hammered. I used to use alcohol to have the courage to do this stuff. So I was doing some stand-up stuff with that, and then right out of college, a guy in my fraternity who was in Syracuse said, "Hey, they have an open mic. I just did it. You should come." I did it. My jokes were horrible, but I did well enough that I was like, "Oh my God, this is amazing." And I did it to get women. I wanted to meet girls.
Yeah, same.
And
Well, you're in high school. It's like,
yeah.
you're 16, and it's like, I'm pinched between like a guy, and a guy's like going up with his guitar for probably the same reason.
Absolutely.
Girls used to. 2016 was a big year for the ukulele, I think.
Oh,
yeah. So girls would always like go up there and do, "Baby, running down to the riptide." That was sweet.
Yeah.
It was nice, and I was like, I have to weasel my way into this somehow. And the only thing I had going for me was I could say shocking shit.
Right.
And I think people noticed me for that. And I was the first time in high school, outside of like extracurricular activities, I think I felt like people noticed me. Like teachers would come up and be like, "I heard you did a stand-up set."
Yeah.
And I felt seen. I felt good. Girls started to talk to me too. It was awesome. And I transitioned because it was like, you have to love it. Like if you do it for kind of like those superficial reasons, there's probably easier ways to get chicks. But if you do it for the love of the game, like that'll show like who's still doing it 5 years later or even 10 years later.
Yeah.
So
It's been 30 years and I have not found the woman yet.
damn.
Wow. That's hard to reconcile. No, I found plenty of women along the way, but nobody that I've never been married, never had kids, but I always think of myself as I'm married to the audience. It's a different group of people all the time. But
polyamory.
I guess that fills fulfills a need in my life.
It does. To be noticed and also to be noticed within a group of people. I think some of the most depressing times in my life was I didn't have a community. Like moving here was extremely depressing for me.
Yeah.
And I've opened up about it a little bit. Well, I had to. I was like borderline suicidal. And what the biggest change was I wasn't in the same group anymore. People had graduated. People were living lives, doing things. And I was like, what am I doing? Where am I? Where have I ended up? And it was like a big, I guess, egg on my face, or whatever the expression goes. And just dwelling on that constantly. And I'm just like, I'm in this house. I'm in the middle of nowhere. And so it's been an amazing journey these past 2 years because I built myself up from essentially nothing. And it's not like I didn't have confidence in myself before, but like it's like that minute of silence. Like it's a scary thing. It is enough to make you stand up and say, "Fuck this."
Yeah.
It hasn't been easy. And the thing living here taught me, it's like wherever I end up in life, find a way to find community through doing something you love and know that it's possible, I guess, even when you don't feel like it's possible,
I'm sure this happened when I first moved back. to the area, and I would go to the open mics. And then I took a long time off from them, and I even took time off from comedy. And I started going back to the Lark Tavern open mic in Albany.
Yeah.
I'm sure for a lot of the open micers there, the fellow comics are like, what is this fucking old guy who's done a bunch of things coming to an open mic for? Yeah. It's two reasons. One, I have to do comedy. It's something that it's been my identity for my adult life, and I need it. The other thing is I'm lonely.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're all lonely in there. We're just like all lonely together though.
Right.
Know? That's a big fucking difference, I'll say.
Our society used to be so different when I was growing up. I want to develop a joke about this, how when I was young, I thought adulthood meant a lot of dinner parties.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought I was going to have like so many dinner parties.
Yeah.
I haven't even been invited to a wedding yet.
Right.
I'm like 26.
Yeah. And instead it's all online, and that's not the same as being with other people. And so it's changed so much. There were bowling leagues that people were in.
Right.
Fraternal orders, like the men would hang out with the men, the women hang out with the women, and then they'd get together on the weekends for stuff. Yeah. It's just not like that anymore, and that's we're human beings. Our species needs that type of stuff.
Yeah. COVID was a huge killer. Maybe the joke could be something like, society, you go off on that whole rant about society didn't used to be like that anymore. At least that's what my ChatGPT girlfriend's been saying to me.
Right.
I mean, I love her.
Yeah. During COVID, I did the exact opposite of everybody. I was out every day. I'd go to Walmart or whatever was open because I'm an extrovert. I need to be around other people.
Yeah. Even if I don't truly. I think introversion is a thing, but I think people that don't get out and do anything, I'm like, how the fuck are you alive? Like, how are you? You're just like you just go to work and go home every day. And then you close your eyes and you don't have a second thought about like the fears of loneliness and
introverts experience that too. They just have a different temperament. They'd rather find one person that they really are able to be open with.
Yeah.
Whereas I find comfort in crowds where I don't have to talk to everybody individually.
That's crazy. Maybe I'm an introvert then.
Because I can tell by your handwriting. If you write down, I love dancing, running, and swimming. If you write that down right now, I'll look at it and I'll tell you if you're an introvert or not.
Should I?
Yeah. This is from my hypnotherapy training, also known as clown college, because most people don't understand it and they think
Should
that
I write
it's bullshit.
down? Because I don't like to dance. Should I write down something?
It doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm analyzing how you write. I'm guessing you're an introvert, but we'll see. He's trying to think up other things, but
things I like.
It might fuck this up. No.
It's,
the main thing is the like an ing. I like running. I like swimming. I like. It doesn't have to be what you really like. It's just an exercise. You're already overthinking it, which tells me introvert. Introverts, you live in their head 24/7. They overanalyze. Let me ask you a question as you're doing this. So, the greatest fear for a human being is the fear of the unknown. That's why we stay in situations, even though it's painful. It's the devil we know versus the devil you don't know.
Oh, yeah.
There's a second level of fear. One is fear of rejection or loss of control. Yeah. I'm guessing yours is loss of control.
Yeah.
That means you're probably an introvert. And it's on a sliding scale. It doesn't mean introverts are made to feel bad for how they are, their temperament, because we live in a very extroverted society.
Yeah.
But it's not a good or bad thing. It's just something that you're more like this and I'm more like this. So let me take a look.
Oh, sure. And some questions. Yeah. It's at the bottom there.
Yeah. So I love basketball. What's the second one? Running and pooping. So those whys, this is why I wanted ing. It goes straight down and then a hook that way. If you looped it, it would be more extroverted because it goes straight down. This little part kind of means you might be more in the middle.
It might also mean I'm left-handed.
No.
Which I am. So you're saying because I write it inwards.
It's not like there's no flair on it. I can also tell if you're good at keeping secrets or not. Just write the word Disney.
Sure. Okay.
And none of this is an exact science, although it's called graphology that people study in college and they use. Yeah, you're good at keeping secrets. The reason, again, this is just based on one letter of one word. The D is completely closed. It's a weird thing, but if you see somebody who writes D's where there's a little bit of space, that gives the signal that they're not as good at keeping secrets.
Shit.
So even up here,
That
if
does
you
kinda
look at
make
your
sense.
D's, they're all closed, I would guess.
I mean, yeah. I also kind of look like O's. I don't have good handwriting.
It's
So
not
it's,
about good or bad. It's just
yeah.
indicative.
Yeah, that's interesting. Something sub-psychological about closing the loop in the D. So I guess I'm just re-explaining it, but it's like you leave it open because you want a little bit of space to
Some wiggle room?
some wiggle room.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I'll keep you can tell me anything,
Yeah.
but I leave my D's open a little bit because, I might run into someone at the store, and when they hear this,
Yeah.
it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
So, wow, that's pretty cool, man. Yeah, no, I don't I don't know anything. I've just been, in terms of getting into a better mental headspace, just listening to like motivation, Tony Robbins,
That's what started me getting serious about stand-up. Tony Robbins, Personal Power 2.
Mm-hmm.
I would listen to those tapes. I did the exercises. That's what led me to doing my first guest set at the Comedy Works.
Yeah.
That stuff is tremendous.
There's certain here's a weird thing I did. I listened to, and this is so stupid, but I listened to John Cena on the Joe Rogan Experience. And you know how John Cena is just like a very confident guy?
Uh-huh.
I was like, let me just talk kind of like him. So I would address people and be like, how are you doing? Nice to meet you,
Yeah.
And, like tighter, more, let me, like put more power into the words. And I would do that. And I would notice people would actually take me more seriously.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm a very like loose, whatever type of guy. When I started talking like tighter, like more, I was just like, let me just act more like John Cena.
Right.
And it works. Like, I don't know.
Well, because in a way...
It's like how you carry yourself.
Yes, absolutely. There's certain people that you meet for the first time, maybe at work, and this is not somebody I can joke around with.
Yeah.
You meet other people, you're like, this is somebody, I wouldn't do this, but I could take advantage of this person.
Yeah.
It's how you carry yourself, and people don't even realize sometimes how they're doing it. We're all mimicking other people from when we were young.
Yes.
So why not mimic somebody like John Cena if that works for you?
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be your whole personality, but you could try it differently.
Right. That reminds me, and I heard this one time, and they said depression is essentially like your body responding to something telling you that you don't belong in this environment. So this idea of like, I can't be confident here. I'm nobody in this room. Nobody gives a shit about me here. So you naturally hang your head down to give the impression. This would be like in the jungle. Like if you came into a new group of monkeys and you were all crazy and wailing your arms around, they think you're so confident they gang up on you and kill you or something.
Right.
So like what they say is depression is just like that natural response of like some like not belonging.
Yeah.
And acting in a way where it's like you're aware you don't belong here, something like that.
That makes sense.
And once I realized that, and simple things like my mom said to me one time, she's like, wherever you are, that's where you belong.
Yeah.
And that I think about that often. It's like, used to be so insecure when I started my job. I didn't know what the fuck, how anything worked. And over time, I was like, well, you haven't fired me yet. So this is where I am. Just like,
Yeah.
stop thinking, like, you know. And then the other person, other from Tony Robbins, was Eckhart Tolle.
Yeah.
He, maybe you heard of him.
Oh, yeah.
How he's like, well, yeah, these bad things have happened to you. And you've started to identify yourself with those bad things that have happened to you. And essentially what his whole book is about, The Power of Now, is realizing you can free yourself from that. And once you realize how much of yourself you've developed a personality around, like, oh, I've always been the piece of shit, I've always been the kid in the back of the class, like, making a ruckus. It goes back to, like, kindergarten sometimes. I used to, like, stand up on the desks and chairs, get kicked out every day. I think there was always something about me where I was like, I'm that guy that's going to stand and make a fool of himself. And now, like, you know, it's not always so hot as an adult. So, I mean, there's just, like, certain things. And there's also just a change in perspective of how you think about it. Like, everything that got me here made me who I am.
Absolutely.
And it's
everything that is happening in my life is happening in my head.
Yeah.
It's how I'm perceiving things.
Mm-hmm.
And I can change that very quickly. I can reframe things.
And that's never been easy for me. Like, it's very easy for me. Like, when I first start, like, when Trump got into politics, I was like, I fucking hate this guy. You know, just hate him.
Yeah.
But my thinking was framed by my mind. And then my grandparents, they liked Trump. So for me, it was like, I fucking hate you. Like, how could you like this fucking rapist asshole pig, you know? They're in their own world. They don't... It took me a while to realize, like, you could just let other people be wrong, and you're not even that right yourself. You're just 16. You're righteous about things. You think, you know, it's what girls think. So it's like, obviously, I'm just going to subscribe to that, right? Never was I ever actually thinking for myself. It was always just a reaction, you know? And it's so easy, like, with anything. Like, if two of my friends are like, oh, that guy, he's an asshole. Like, it's very easy for me to be like, well, that's an asshole.
Yeah.
And accept it. Not ever talk to the guy, you know?
Right.
That's just like how
it's interesting, though. You just said that it's really difficult for you to change.
I think, yeah.
Right? But then you just gave an example of where this neutral person you had no feelings towards, two of your friends said that's an asshole. You changed like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is part of the hypnotherapy and all the self-help stuff. If you keep saying to yourself, it's really hard for me to change, you're going to keep being hard to change.
Yeah.
Whereas I notice things where you've changed tremendously. When you first asked me to do this podcast at Lark Tavern, you wouldn't look me in the eyes. You were doing this
I hate
the
eye
whole
contact.
time.
Yeah.
You've
probably
been
doing that now too.
No, you're looking at me in the eyes like 1,000 times more. Yeah. And so change is able to happen instantly. It's the thinking about change and making plans. Like, so I want to start a podcast where I talk about self-help, but I need to make all these plans and figure out how to do it, and it's going to be so hard and all this stuff.
Right.
When I want to watch Game of Thrones, because I hadn't watched it, I watched a couple episodes when it first came out. I didn't need to fucking like schedule it in my calendar.
You're just going to do it every day.
Write out a bunch of stuff. I would just be on my couch watching it on HBO.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was no preparation.
Right.
Anything that there's some hesitancy that would take me out of my comfort zone, that's when I need to make all these plans and have all these steps to do it. It's like, no, just fucking do it.
Dude, you would go crazy on a self-help podcast.
Maybe. I hope.
Yeah.
Here's the...
No, yeah, you would.
Here's the one thing that was the most important for me having the success that I did in stand-up. I always believed that it was going to happen. I don't know why I believed it, There was no evidence to support it. I knew deep down in me that I'd be successful. And so because I believe that so strongly, and it wasn't like a choice. I didn't say, I'm choosing to believe this. I just always thought that it would happen.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that didn't work out, I would okay, that doesn't matter because I have this and this. And I would get frustrated. And, like I said, when I first started stand-up, I would quit. But because I had this false idea that I was going to be successful, I made that happen.
You thought you were going to be great no matter what.
Right.
And that's a crazy thing. I think that's definitely one thing I struggle with is in the face of adversity, finding resiliency,
Yeah.
That pushing through. Because I feel like, I don't want to sit here and say I'm a sensitive guy. We're all a little sensitive, right?
Of course.
But for me, it's like, all it takes is a couple people to be like, yeah, you don't got what it takes, And I might actually believe it,
Yeah.
And, I'm sure that's happened to you in 30 years of stand-up. I'm sure, people have told you all sorts of, you're never going to make it, whatever it is,
I didn't have as much of that.
So you pushed through all that.
I had other stuff that would happen that felt devastating to me. I had this manager that was on her own, and then she was linking up with this much bigger management company, and she was going to represent me and bring me there. And she and I were also friends.
Yeah.
And then she went to Saturday Night Live because one of the big managers' clients was hosting that week. And I never heard from her again.
Jeez, yeah.
And I was like, I would leave her messages. I only left a couple, but I said, look, if you can't work with me, if you don't want to represent me anymore, that's fine. But tell me we're friends.
Say it, yeah.
And I just never got that from her. And so when people would say you have to be able to deal with a lot of rejection,
right,
I was like, oh, yeah, that's fine. I didn't realize how that actually shows up or manifests itself. And
I think it hurts more the way she did it rather than the fact that she would have done. If she had just told you.
Right.
I think it would have still hurt, but maybe it would have gone down, it would have gone down easier.
Absolutely, but the bigger point for me was, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
There's other managers.
Yeah.
I did the HBO Aspen Comedy Festival New Faces without a manager.
Yeah.
I did Comedy Central without a manager.
Yeah.
I sold a movie without a manager or an agent.
Crazy.
I had all these things that I thought you needed to have in my mind. I didn't have them, but I succeeded anyways.
Right, exactly. Yeah. No, I mean, you have to push through. For me, it's way too easy to get hung up on a person or something like that and then let it essentially destroy me.
Yeah.
When it's the expression is plenty of fish in the sea.
Right.
I think I'm too good at making the world way smaller. But then at the same time, find comfort in remembering that the world is so big.
Yeah.
There's 7 billion people out there to talk to, But I'll get so roped up in my mind. But I'm like, yeah, but who do I know in this specific part? Who can I get to? Things like that. I don't know. I just want to talk to everybody, ideally. I'd love to just do this forever and just shoot the shit with people. And but then I'm like, but it can't be somebody boring.
Yeah.
So then I'm back at square one. And then on a certain day you wake up and you just hate everybody. So it's you go through the motions.
It's all a mental game. It's so easy to see. I don't know if you watch sports at all.
A little bit.
But if a quarterback throws 2 interceptions, you're like, just shake it off.
Yeah, get better.
Yeah. But when it's you in your own life,
right, it's impossible.
It's not as clear as you threw an interception. It's, I fucked up this relationship with this girl, and it's not going to work out. Well, shake it off. Learn from it, do better, and be in another relationship. It's not the last play of the last game.
Yeah, exactly.
You have a bad set at Lark, who gives a fuck? You're going to be there again. Nobody remembers it.
There's a million places you could do stand-up, too.
Yeah.
It's crazy. An hour and a half ago, we were talking about, banging 2 chicks at the same time.
Yeah.
We have gone so full circle.
Yeah.
This has been awesome, man. Like, let me see if there's anything. Yeah, who's the most famous person you ever dated? Let's see.
Well,
How do you feel about TV nowadays? The shift to streaming? This is all.
I went on one date with
Stupid.
Topanga, Danielle Fishel, the actress who played Topanga, and it just wasn't a fit for us. And I do a joke about that in my act. I went on a couple dates with the actress Sean Young. You're probably too young to have seen some of these movies, but Blade Runner, the first one.
Oh, I know it, but
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
No Way Out. She was in Ace Ventura. She was the bad guy who was trans, used to be the kicker for the Dolphins or something like that. She was wonderful. We stayed friends. And then that's about it for fame. I think there were a few more. I Miss Canada for one time. That wasn't really dating. It was a little bit something different. But again, they're just people.
No, this doesn't hit as hard after
Yeah.
that very introspective self-help
right.
talk.
It's like, hey, who'd you fuck? Well, who cares?
But I was like, but that's the whole thing about getting on stage, because it's like, this is gonna be fucking hilarious when I say this, and it's gonna be funny. And I know you joke around, so it's not gonna go that bad.
Yeah.
You know, but oh, bad. Oh, that's how I'm gonna ruin it next week at Lark. I'm just gonna talk about it, like, everything about overcoming fears, and you know, I'm gonna steal all your hypnotherapy stuff.
Yeah.
And the next person is just gonna fucking bomb.
Yep. You're setting it up.
Ruin it. Almost wish he just said the N-word.
Yeah. Now your next comic for very first time coming to the stage, somebody who will never do comedy again because of this experience.
Wow. My phone is still recording. It's awesome.
Nice.
But I've kept you here for so long. Is there anything you want to say to the millions of SAT takers out there? And by the way, 50th percentile, this guy's over it. So don't fuck with them.
I think the thing I want to say is two things. One, don't just rely on AI to write your papers or to take tests or whatever it's being used for now, because you have to have skills to be able to navigate life, however that looks in the future with AI taking over everything. You still have to be able to have a conversation with another human being. That's why I didn't know why I had to take algebra when I was in 10th grade, but it's to see maybe I would be good at that. You have to be exposed to different things. And be careful with what you say to yourself in your head, because if I'm shitting on myself to other people, if I keep telling you I'm a fucking scumbag and all this stuff, I'm horrible, or even to say I'm depressed a lot.
And remember, it often starts as a joke sometimes.
Right. But if I were to tell you and everybody I meet I'm depressed a lot, not only am I saying that out loud to you, I'm thinking it in my head and then hearing it back. So I'm programming my mind to keep thinking I'm depressed a lot. So it's reinforcing it. Why not? I get depressed sometimes. I'm also very happy sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It's what I'm focused on.
Exactly.
Why not be focused on the times I'm happy?
It's a good point. I think it's all about a balance.
Yeah.
And it's just about shrinking it down, right? The bad things that happened, you could like shrink those down, you know?
Yeah.
It truly is just what you choose to focus on.
100%. This wonderful dog has been laying here the whole time. And if I focused on Lucas, this wonderful dog, I would be calm.
Yeah, yeah. Instead of me over here, you ever bang two chicks at the same time?
But you don't seem anxious or anything like that.
Really? I drank a whole fucking Monster Energy before.
Yeah, no, you seem very calm. Maybe in the beginning I was too, but
yeah,
we build stuff up in our heads. Why not be building good stuff up in our heads?
So true. So true. You heard it here first, folks. Dude, there's no better send-off. I could talk to this guy for hours. And I think I also just genuinely need a therapist. So I think that's the only reason I'm holding him hostage right now. But he has stuff to do. And feeling better, man. I'm feeling
Good.
genuinely better after talking to you. And I don't say that lightly. I want to say that on air, man. Because,
Good.
like, I was nervous, you know?
Really?
I think it's natural.
Oh, of course. We don't know each other that well.
I don't know you that well. But yeah, I was like, you know, how does this end up? Like, how do I do this the best way?
Mm-hmm.
You know, aiming for perfection. And then when you're in a conversation, it's like, you don't know where it's going to take you. I didn't know, like, some of the stories you would start out with, where they would go. I never realized how much you looked like Bill Clinton either.
Yeah.
And that changed everything, you know?
You know what's interesting to me? So I said, you're like, is there anything you don't want to talk about? I'm like, I don't want to talk about my comedy journey too much because I've done it a lot on podcasts. And
It's almost like a...
But here's the reason why.
Yeah.
I worry because I haven't done a ton of podcasts, even though some of my famous friends have them. I worry that I'm not funny enough in these things.
Oh,
and
yeah.
so talking about like how I started doing stand-up or having enough funny things, maybe I'd rather, instead of getting you and people watching or listening to this to laugh, I'd rather have you feel good about yourself at the end of it.
Oh, wow.
So you saying that it takes away all the pressure of me. Was I funny enough on this? I'm funny on stage. I don't have to be funny all the time.
You got 4 to 5 questions right on these SATs, so
that's
fuck what they say.
That's pretty good. That is pretty good.
There's always going to be negative Nancy's out there.
Oh, I'm not. It's more for my own thing. I don't.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever complained that he wasn't that funny. Yeah.
No.
But it helps. It helps me realize, you know, I should do more of the self-help stuff because it does.
You need to, man.
Help people.
Dude. Same time next week?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Nah, it's true. You absolutely should, man. And I joke about no one's going to listen to this, but I hope some people do find it. And I hope that at the end of the day, they're just not too hard on themselves because there's just enough of that. You're going to do enough of that to yourself anyways.
Right.
So, I don't know. What do you think? Do you think I could do the self-help stuff, maybe?
Yeah. Why not?
Why not?
I don't have any special innate ability to do that.
I think I do. I think I have a gift from God for sure.
Well, you should be using it then, right?
No, I don't. That's the thing. I'm always like, yeah, I'm good. No, I'm not. I'm joking. It's like, figure it out.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, man. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Josh.
Ladies and gentlemen, Richard Francis Williams. All right.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah, that was awesome, man.
Yeah.
That really went every fucking direction.